ANDHealth is a project centred around improving the environment for commercialisation of digital health projects in Australia. So we're looking at improving the investment outcomes for digital health projects via providing specialised advice and support to those projects. The biggest focus of the project is to advance the case for investment for 10 digital health projects over the 2-year grant period. Our primary focus is finding those 5 projects each year, building their advisory teams and putting in place their project plans. And our objective is that by working with those companies, we don't take any equity and we don't touch any of their intellectual property. So it really is a no-lose situation for them, but what we think we can do is by working with them and bringing our partners' capabilities around those projects, we can actually advance their case for investment and hopefully see most of those projects, as long as their technologies don't fail, invested in and going on to grow into global businesses. The big winner will be the Australian economy. Digital health is the fastest growing investment class in healthcare. I think also the big winner is the entrepreneurs in digital health who are currently looking for places that they can seek advice on how to get clinical and commercial validation of their technologies, but there's nowhere for them to go. Thirdly, I think we can help bring the investment community alongside by talking about the differences between investing in digital health technologies versus ICT technologies or traditional healthcare. I think the biggest thing is that we'll see an improvement in our digital health capabilities and the investment into that part of the sector. Traditionally, we have been a very strong global player in health and medical research, but we're not necessarily known for our capabilities in digital health. So providing some specialised support around that space and some skills and knowledge development in the community that will enable us to commercialise more and more digital health technology will also enable us to keep our health and medical research at the standard that it's been for a very long time. One of the biggest impacts the ANDHealth project has had so far is in bringing together a whole range of different types of companies as consortium members. So we have pharmaceutical companies, we have universities, we have development companies, we have software companies, and we have medical research institutes and international networks all working together to advance digital health in Australia. And that's not really ever been done before with such a broad cross-section of members. One of the key achievements we've done to date is that on the 23rd of May we ran the first Digital Health Summit in conjunction with our partners Biotech and also with Allens. What was interesting about that event is we had 100 people through and we dealt with a whole range of issues, including the ethics of the use of patient data. We dealt with investment models and how different types of investors approach investing in digital health. The design of business models for digital health technologies that make those companies then investable, so the who will pay question, and also the regulatory pathway that these technologies have to follow, which is often quite fluid and changes quite rapidly. So that event in itself and the level of attendance that we had at the event shows the massive interest in the space. What's really interesting about the member base that we've brought together, supported by MTPConnect, is the fact that we've been able to bring together organisations from such a diverse range of companies, ranging from Planet Innovation, who are an incubator and developer of technology and Australia's most innovative company, to a global pharmaceutical company like Novartis, to an amazing university like RMIT, who have just really genuinely world-class expertise in design and development, plus Curve Tomorrow, whose software work inside the Murdoch has been exceptional, and our international and national industry partners. That just brings a whole cohort of people around these projects that would never normally work together. The MTP Project Fund has been critical in setting up ANDHealth. I can honestly say the project wouldn't happen without MTP funding. We have always thought that there was a need for a project like this, but there was no way to get that off the ground purely commercially funded. And I think the MTP project funding has allowed us to do this in a way that creates a no-loss scenario for the projects who are participating. So that actually gives us our ability to be non-profit. It gives us our ability to not take equity, and that enables us to work with the best technologies around to get the best outcomes for Australia. So my hope for the future of the sector in Australia is that alongside the medtech and pharmaceutical sector that we already have, which is world-class, that we can start to demonstrate a world-class digital health sector, and that Australia can be a destination for digital health clinical trials and digital health commercial pivotal trials, and also that we'll see our healthcare system start to adopt these technologies so that when you're at the front lines of healthcare with the nurses and doctors who administer our healthcare, that Australian patients are benefiting from these technologies, because at the end of the day, the patient now is the healthcare consumer. They're an empowered person in their own right, and they will increasingly make choices about their healthcare and how they'd like it to be delivered. And I'd really like Australia to be at the forefront of that.